If you're watching this, then you've probably heard of the game I've been making called No Escape. It's not a very good game, but I'm trying. I figured I would document what the past month has been like for me, so with inspiration from my boy Leon, I decided to share my experience developing this junk, and to bring you guys along whether or not you want to. Now, if you're a close friend of mine, you would have played Knife at a Gunfight. If you didn't, you're not my friend, I hate you, you're so mean, you little... To those who played the game, you probably remembered that it was not that good of a game. It was quite literally a white circle touching colored circles who shoot tiny colored circles at you. Not my finest moment. It was one of my first games, however, and I really just wanted to get the feel of how Unity, the game engine I use, works. During this time, I also started to learn C#, the language that Unity uses. For No Escape, however, I really wanted to make a full-fledged game. I wanted a story, different levels, appealing graphics, the whole package. So I created a new project and began working. I started off not by adding a player, not by adding functionality, but by making a map. It didn't turn out so well, so I scrapped it. Moving forward, I did only the rational thing to do. I started making player movement with Bracky's tutorial, only to realize that his script didn't include physics. Disappointed, I was ready to toss it, but I kept it so I wouldn't have to redo it at the moment. I then added shooting and reloading with videos from the same channel. Feeling a bit more confident in my abilities to make a map this time, I spent a whole day designing and then another 4 days building the first level. Okay. So, before you guys say that I have brain damage or something, let me show you how to make a map. Okay, so first you just, you make a cube, okay? And then you make it hollow. And then you just put some cubes inside. That's how you make a map. So I might have brain damage. And also, the light baking is torture. You might be asking, "My Lord and Savior Ethan, don't you usually bake bread?" And I would respond with, "Shut it, kiddo, you ignorant, unknowledgeable punk." Anyways, this is light baking if you really need to know. I also wanted to have a great storyline for the game. Originally, I came up with the idea that you're an antivirus program created by the computer's AI assistant, and it is your task to perform the chop-chop on the viruses. Then my homie said that the idea should be an experiment that went wrong, and now you have to escape the facility. I liked it, but not really. So I modified it, so now the story is that you are in the experiment. Moving on, I started to add enemies. I created some robots in Blender, like Long Boy and Thick Boy. I was about to slap him into the game when I realized I had to redo the player movement and to integrate physics. Now, physics in Unity is quite tough, okay? You know, you have to calculate direction and speed, and well, yeah, that's why it's so hard. That's why I wasted a day and a half struggling to write 8 lines of code, and after finally writing these lines, physics-based movement was officially implemented. Then I worked on doing the same for shooting. Before, I made it so that wherever you shoot, you'll see sparks and a bullet hole, but now you can actually see the bullet travel to the point you aimed at. It also has this circle at the end of it, trying to mimic glowing bullets, but I guess you can't really see it since this generation has no creativity. I also improved the resolution of the textures, changed the lighting a little bit, so now the levels are looking pretty nice, wouldn't you say? Then I went back to enemies. At first, I just wanted to slap some animations on my boys, but then I realized that animations and physics don't mix very well because the animations won't react to physics. Alright, so basically what we have here is a robot with physics and an animation. So basically, if I push him over, he keeps walking. He doesn't try to balance himself or anything. So we have to use something called inverse kinematics to make him walk. Before you ask, hey Ethan, what's inverse kinematics? I have to tell you that I have no idea what it is. However, from a day of digging around the internet, I learned that you can basically use it to make the robots walk on their own and have physics. But that's where things went a bit wrong. Due to my lack of knowledge on the matter, I struggled. Like a lot. Like, what is this? I'm gonna cry. Eventually, though, I figured it out, so, yeah, things are looking pretty good. So, found out the project got corrupted, and the backup files too. Those are all messed up. So, development can no longer keep going. The project is killed. Can't keep working on this. Yep, project go bye-bye. This wasn't a complete loss, however, since I learned a lot on the way. I picked up quite a ton of useful bits and pieces of code and pretty nice graphics, so while I currently struggle with PTSD and depression, it could have been worse. Especially since some of the scripts were unaffected, so I can just... So yeah, I just wanted to take you guys on a little journey of what the past month has been like for me. I hope you really enjoyed wasting your time watching this video. Thanks for watching, like the video if you really want to, and don't drop the soap or else I'll spank your ass.